Hi, everybody. Leanne Holitza here at the Healing Studio. Happy Sunday, or whenever you watch this. It is July 9th, and I don't know, I have lots of things to share with you today. I'm feeling quite playful. So I'm bringing back some of I haven't for a while brought in my little fun tools. Today we're using Kali, the warrior goddess energy, liberation and rebirth. All right. Got a little green apatite with me and a little heart shape. It's aligning us with our goals that are good for all involved. And oh, my favorite little objects of playfulness today, the dragons. I showed these off. I don't have them in the system yet, but they will be in the system shortly. And they were a little bit hard to get because they are back ordered. But these guys are like fidget toys and they are like so fun. Anyway, just had to share that too. All right, you're doing our regular card deck of the Yantra, and then we're going to do a 1, 2, 3 to get us going. If you're watching live, that'll be your first personal card, and if you are watching later, that's how you can get your reading. I encourage you to listen to everyone else's readings too. Oftentimes, the messages start coming in a fashion that's for everybody. We're going to use the Wisdom of Tula today. This deck is a very soft, beautiful deck to do our personal readings. Okay, so let's get started. Oh, I have to tell you guys, this month I am doing this manifesting what you want retreat, like a mini retreat. It's going to be really small as far as like not a lot of people, but it's a whole kind of day of reinventing your manifesting vibration. And I'm rebirthing it is probably the best words. Sound baths, a little bit of intention setting, some block clearing, maybe some messages from the light council, and then lunch with us and some more manifesting energy and optional ending with yoga. So I hope you'll check that out just because I really put a lot of thought in this event and I really feel like it's not that one. So I'm just going to put this website up. If you want to find out more, you can just go to this website, insightfulinspirations.com/events, and it should be listed there pretty quick because it's coming up. And if you want your spot, I definitely need to know in advance so I can get you lunch and all that good stuff. All right. Obviously, those are for my local people. If you want to come into town or visit too. You guys have figured out YouTube is the way to go because you can get in earlier, but I do see you guys coming in also from Facebook. So be patient with me, please. Like at the bottom of the list right now is Mountain River, Gina, Eat 100 Foods. I see you guys. I will get you as fast as I can. And Ray, hi, Ray. Just hang out. I will get you guys as fast as I can. Let's just first do a check-in for the beginning of the week. My internet has been naughty. I can see it's being naughty right now. Sorry, you guys, if I get glitchy. I have done everything I can figure out with that thing. All right, hold on one sec. Let me just do one adjustment. Well, no, I'm not going to mess with it. Okay, here we go. This week. Okay, first card is Truth Sideways. Okay, so this card often comes to tell us that we needs a very karmically loaded word. It would be beneficial for us to choose freedom and learn to tell ourselves the truth and each other the truth rather than try and keep something hidden from each other or think that you know what somebody else wants to hear. Okay, so this week, kind of coming up against some truth, particularly from yourself. This is the helper card for the week, forgiveness. Okay, so this forgiveness in this way is basically saying that being forgiving, letting go, almost, I love the radical forgiveness concept. I would highly recommend that book, by the way. Or come play Satori with me sometime. Basically rewriting your relationship with the wrongs that have happened. This letting go card is basically saying that forgiveness doesn't have to be a doing thing. It can just be a being thing. I forgive what's happened. I'm open to the opportunities that are presenting because of how I feel is what I feel is going on. Okay. So just be aware that's the energy for the week. Be in the forgiveness energy. End of the week, we're lacking focus. Okay. So opportunity to get off track big time. Now know that being centered is also part of this card. So not being in the body, not being grounded, those are all things that can definitely impact your manifesting space. So just be aware that that is the week, and it doesn't necessarily, it looks different for everybody, and our helper cards will kind of get us into that. Okay. All right. Let's do the me, please. All right. I see you guys there. I'm going to start with the top list that I see. May not be the same as what you do. Oh, I got to do the 1, 2, 3s first. So, Cece, you know you made it to the top of the list. Got to do the 1, 2, 3s. Getting ahead of myself. 1, 2, 3. Whatever feels resonant to you. So, feel into the number. This is going to be your first card for the week. Okay. If you picked 1, you are working on being a maestro. Organizing, orchestrating, keeping everybody on tempo. You're going to be the maestro this week. The maestro doesn't play the instrument. The maestro directs everyone else. So just know it's what's yours to do this week, okay? Not what everybody else's needs to get done. If you picked 2, you're working on your story. And sometimes stories can be soft and fun and playful, but if you add it to the cards that we got this week, it's important to tell truthful stories. It's important to tell forgiving stories. Stories are oftentimes lessons that we've come across and needed to teach each other. So this is a good time to be aware of your story that you're telling yourself and perhaps maybe make it a little more positive. If you got 3, you got applause. Time to stand up and shine this week. Let people say thank you. Let people or recognize you, say nice things to you. And instead of being like, no, you say, thank you. Thank you very much. I worked hard to be this person. All right, here we go. Starting the personal cards. Like I said, I see some of you guys. Naomi, hi. Heidi, Sarah. Also keep an eye on the screen because sometimes we have more than one Gina, for example. So you just whoop, boop, boop, right there. Okay, Cece, you're going to play this week. Just play. That's all this is about, is just having some fun, finding ways. She's playing marbles. And she's doing it just for fun because it's beautiful and fun to hear the clanky noises, and they're shiny and different. So it's just a week of just being in that playful space. Okay. Nice. Nicole and Seth. Nicole, your card is squeaky wheel. Gets the grease. Okay. So this is a really good card. Look at personal too, like Southern Denver. This is an important card for you to step out, speak your truth, let yourself continue to, even if it makes people uncomfortable. You know, the Light Council the other day was like, it's time to wake your loved ones up. Wake them up. It's the nicest thing you can do is tell them the truth about what's going on. So that's your card for the week. Seth, you got the Maestro card. So if you picked 1 at the beginning, you're getting reminded again. And if you didn't, this is adding on to what you picked. But if we see this card again, it's going to be a 3 for 1. It's for all of us. But this is basically set some directions, but let people have space to do what they need to do. Let them maybe, help with the pacing, but, you can't push something to get done. It's kind of an invitation, right? The maestro is like, okay, invitation, here we go. So that's what you're being asked to kind of focus on this week. Okay. Tiff, your guides want you to think about gliding this week. Okay. So you're already at the top of the hill. The work has been done to get there. Now point your skis down and go. Okay. So this is kind of finding the path of least resistance, but also be mindful and skillful of what you've already laid in front of yourself, and just glide through the week. That forgiveness energy is going to be really important to keep in mind as well. Kimberly, you got meditation. Okay. So lots of information in the silence for you this week, especially around that forgiveness space and around letting yourself understand what that even means. So making some extra time to meditate. Kelly, you also got glide. Okay. So work's been done. You're at the top of the hill. Point your skis down and go. Okay. So just have a little bit more energy of like that, kind of telling yourself the truth of how sometimes you make things harder than they need to be, kind of thing, We all do that once in a while, don't we? All right, Diane, you got 2 cards. Okay, so one came with flow, like a dance with life, and the other one came with bullseye, hitting the mark. Okay, so this week, go with the flow, but also aim. Okay. Now, the thing about the aim and the bullseye, the thing it's like once you decide that that's where you want to go, you have to let go of the dart or the arrow. And that's kind of what the flow card is telling you. It's like, okay, point to where the bullseye is, set a goal, but then let it go. Okay. Barbara, you're going to be focusing on your lucid dreams. I've been lucid dreaming like crazy lately, and I'm not the only one. I've been hearing a lot about this. So there's a lot of information coming through on the astral. So maybe keep a notebook near your bed and pay attention, especially around that forgiveness message. Tanya, you're being asked to see perspective, okay? Different perspective, different way of viewing how you're coming at things. What might be a rainy day to you might be the perfect watering session for the plant. What might feel cold and windy to you might be exactly what somebody needed who's overheated, that kind of thing. So just know that there's different perspectives going on around you, and you're being asked this week to kind of recognize that, okay? Back to that forgiveness energy and telling yourself the truth. Jenny, you're working on wholeness this week. All right. Well, that's a pretty nice message, right? So, really letting yourself kind of be of the world and be aware that the world around you is making up who you are at every moment. And every moment can be the best moment or the worst moment, and change. So this week, you're being asked to kind of see more of a holistic, big picture. If you need help doing that, you might get together with someone who's good at that, have a little coffee or lunch and ask them to help you see through the trees, if you will. All right, Kimberly and Jamie. Kimberly, you're going with the flow as well. A little dance, there's a little romance, there's a little bit of energy of just learning to be led, but also to glide through what's going on, listening to the rhythms of life. Sometimes we try to force the rhythms, and this week will not be a week that you can force. Okay, Jamie, you're being asked to focus on healing. Okay, a little time with your fur babies, whatever fur baby type you prefer. Let yourself have a moment, and if you don't have any fur babies, maybe borrow one. But just give yourself a little space to heal, soften, rest. Whatever's gone on, the forgiveness energy can only come when you let yourself heal. Okay. Blossoming Lotus, you are going to also be working on meditation, a little silence, little beads in your hands, a little time to just sit with your rocky friends and say, tell me what the universe holds, okay? So let yourself have a moment this week to do that. So there's going to be more power for you there. Janelle and Donnie. Janelle, you're getting 2 cards too. Perspective, okay? All right, so what's going on might be different for everybody. And you got bullseye. Okay. So your perspective might be the bullseye, but it's important for you to let the arrow go so that it can hit the mark. So sometimes people won't see your perspective until later, and that's okay. It doesn't make your perspective wrong. And it also doesn't mean you have to defend yourself all the time. Okay. Donnie, you got wholeness as well. See how they start to bring the messages kind of back to back to back to back. So this card is basically saying accept all of it, accept the big picture, the good, the bad, the ugly, and give yourself a chance to, be in that energy of just, I don't always know what's happening or why, but I do trust it. Okay. Janice, you've got presence. Okay. So the very important, all important presence, awareness, mouth closed, eyes open, paying attention, being fully there, fully embodied. Okay. Sometimes we in my house get all in a tiff because we've decided to sit down and do something together, but then everybody's still, on their phones and distracted, and then everybody gets all frustrated with each other. It's because we're not present, right? We really do crave that. So give yourself some time to be all the way in present today and this week. I like to do this activity where you take a magnet over your head and just imagine that it's getting cleansed and cleared as you pull all your energy back from all directions of time and space, and then drop it in, and then just kind of let it fizzle back into now. Okay. All right, Robin and Jordan. Robin, squeaky wheel for you. Speak up. Let the world know what you believe and think. It's time. It's important. Your voice matters. Jordan, your card for the week is going to be canvas. Your life is a canvas, and you can paint over that stuff you've already done too. That's the cool thing about canvases is sometimes you make something you don't like and then you just paint over it, paint something new. So this is a good chance for you to just kind of treat your life like a work of art this week. Okay. Rob, you've got savor. Okay. So some cooking, some time to just smell all the ingredients coming together. Maybe it's metaphorical, maybe it's not. Maybe food is a good focus for you this week, especially if your body needs a little bit of extra healing. Okay. Aaron, me please, soul voice. Okay, so listening to your higher self, going up to that seventh chakra as if you could put your antenna out to the universe and see what your higher self wants you to say or hear. I mean, think about what it's saying to you, listening. All right, and I see you were starting to do and Nolani, Kayana, Kate Milani, you got meditation, third time's a charm, you guys. So I'm going to pull that out of the book and read you a little bit more from that because we've all got it. But Nolani, you're being asked to come and be quiet. The silence is where the messages are for you this week. Okay, so it says Tula is a mystic, a seeker of the absolute, a lover of the divine. She seeks daily unity with her source through the beautiful silence and self-surrender of her meditation practice. Okay, so it's a good time to basically be in your gift of silence. Okay, if we hear that again, I'll read some more, but you get the gist. A little bit of quiet time. Kayana, you got synergy. Everything's working with you. Okay. So paying attention to how that's working. The bees are working with the flowers, they're working with the trees, they're working with the plants, the animals, all of it. So just give yourself a chance to see how everything is synergizing this week. It's a good energy of cooperation with those things around you. Lisa, you've got magic. Get your little wand out. It's a little weak for some wanding. Okay, so trusting that magic comes from within. Remember that truth card that we saw at the beginning is saying it's important to be telling yourself the truth. Okay, so keep yourself into a magical state of mind and tell yourself the truth, not limiting beliefs. Eli, you're being asked to be a seeker this week. Spend a little time looking for the small stuff that's kind of revealing itself. It there is no longer anyone around that's going to convince you of anything. They're just going to keep showing you. And the more you let it be shown, the more it will show. The more you see it, the more it will be seen. All those good things. So this week, just be in that seeking mode. Ask for signs, see the signs, trust the signs. Christy, Kira, and Finn. Christy, you're in the circles right now. Circles of friends, circles of life, cycles. Everything's wisdom in the circle. So just keeping yourself aware that sometimes you can get a little dizzy in your circle, but it's still wisdom. Okay. So surround yourself with the good stuff. Kira, you got the presence card as well. Second time we've seen that. Be in the present time as much as possible. Don't bring up the past. Don't worry about the future. All's good right now. Finn, tend to your garden. Your little garden. This might also be cleaning your bedroom. This might be cleaning up some clutter because that's your garden of your mind and your body, taking good care of your space around you. Okay? No, your mother didn't pay me to say that. That was from your guides. Cynthia, you got applause. If you picked 3 at the beginning, you got it again. Time to let people say, good job. Time to hear it from people around you. Okay. And if you're hanging out and you haven't put me please in, feel free. I'm still going kind of down the list here. We still have some time together. So SMH, you got Maestro, third time's a charm. I'm going to read a little bit of that. Okay. Letting people kind of guide, but don't do for what other people are to do. Okay. Here's the first little words. Our life is a symphony composed of many different players, cadences, and the timbre of different instruments. We are composers of our beautiful music, sometimes loosely constructed and filled with cacophony of discordance, and other times following a well-organized plan around the central melody. The members of your orchestra often change, some leaving an ensemble as others take a seat to join in the ethereal composition. So just letting yourself know. Players are coming and going. It's okay to see how it all plays out in your life. And it's a unique position you have at the table because who you have in your life from your perspective is different than anyone else's. Even if you have the same friend group, their friend group is different than your friend group, because of everybody's dynamics. Sam, savor for you too. Maybe an actual little cooking, little nutrition, little bit of smells, taking time to really process. Yeah. Bella Luna, you got authenticity. Good week for you to be vulnerable and show yourself to the ones who've earned the vision, to the ones who deserve to see your healthy vulnerability. Okay. Authentic self, fully on board. My insightful inspirations book, it's called, the little subtitle is Conversation Starters for Your Authentic Self. Sometimes we have a hard time finding ourselves through the mix of things, and it's a good time to give yourself a little space to listen. Me, please, for Miranda. You're working with teachers this week. Okay. You're not the teacher necessarily. You're working with a teacher right now. So if you don't have one, now would be a good time to look into some. There's lots of people out there offering to teach us things on the internet and YouTube, TikTok, everywhere. So see who inspires you, and be careful not to give your mind away. You're not being told to go get a guru. Teachers empower, and then you're off and you do your thing. Okay. All right, Sarah, you're working on the canvas thing this week. Okay. So your life is a piece of art. Everything is there perfectly. If you don't like it, there's some other spaces that you can paint over and start over and do it differently. Okay. And I see you've asked for Emily too. She's kind of fallen down at the list. I'll be there soon. Natalie, freedom. Go have some freedom. Go let your hair fly. Let yourself feel peaceful in the sense that, remember that truth card at the beginning said, choose freedom, choose the free thoughts, choose the peaceful thoughts. Also recognize the life that you've chosen. I love it when people, come in and then they're like, oh, I have all these things on my plate that you put there. If you don't want them there, take them off. And if you don't want to take them off, then be at peace with the fact that you want them there. And yes, they may cause you stress, but in the end, they're useful. Heidi, a squeaky wheel, third time we've seen this guy, so we're going to pull it up. But Heidi, you're going to making most sense to be giving yourself a voice this week, speaking up, and also just, sometimes it doesn't serve us to not speak up. So anyways, here is what it says. At different times, we've all been a squeaky wheel, needing our attention or attention of others to something that seems important to us for various reasons. Being our own squeaky wheel is excellent if we're giving voice to something we feel we are lacking. Through this, we learn to ask for what we need and honor and respect ourselves in the process. Okay, so speak up, ask for what you need, respect yourself in that process, and don't justify or defend yourself. Just ask. Just say, I need this, and see who wants to show up. All right, 800 Foods, you got connection. All right. So this is an interesting, there was a kind of, it's reminding me of my vacation in St. Martin. There was loose donkeys, and there was goats, and some of them had collars on. So I don't think they were actually like unowned. They just kind of wandered. And so it's kind of, for you, it's like connecting with the animal kingdom, feeling connected to those things, even if they're just seem out of place or seem like they're not in the right place. Pay attention to how that starts to show up a little bit. Okay. So be connected to, especially to the animals. Third time's a charm for this. Gina, you brought us to wholeness. Okay. So this card, we're getting a lot of the 3 times the charms this week. That's really interesting. So our messages of kind of the week is starting to formulate a little more fully for all of us, which I love about this, and which is why I say it's always best to watch the whole thing, even though I know you get your card and maybe some of you leave, but so this says, for Tula, wholeness occurs when it is perfectly balanced in mind, body, and spirit. To achieve such balance, she assures that she is giving her attention to the parts of her that relatively equal portion. But such balance can only occur when we are energetically connected to the world around us. Only then can we be more complete. So noticing where you aren't giving the attention that you would like to give, kind of thing. All right. All right. I'm still coming for you guys. I see you guys. Emily, you're at the last bit there. I'm coming. Astrid, Gina, got you guys. It's coming to Stephanie next. Mountain River. Okay, Stephanie brought us to the third presence. Okay, so forgiveness. meditation, presence, being fully here. The storylines you got to be careful with the stories, that's kind of thing. So, really working on not being too far ahead at any point in time. Okay. Ray, hopefully you're hanging. Oh, Canvas. You brought Canvas for us, third time the charm. Okay, I'm going to read this one. Presence is kind of an obvious one, so that's why I didn't necessarily go into it. I want to make sure I have time for everybody's readings. But let me read this to all of us, including you, Ray. Okay, it says, as an adult, you may learn to understand that the work of fulfilling your potential is an act of emotional sovereignty, the acceptance of total responsibility for your life and the role you have in creating it. Tula knows and demonstrates this daily by consciously taking complete responsibility for the life she is continually creating through her words, her relationships, her actions, and through her beliefs. So this week, pay attention. Your beliefs are creating your reality. I do have some online classes about limiting beliefs and manifesting, but I'm telling you guys that if you learn to kind of listen to those limitations, you can make big progress quickly. Naomi, third time's a charm for flow. I think we're just going to keep getting these cards. There's the stacks of so dance with life, let yourself go with the flow, be present, be able to try not to get stuck in the negative stories, give yourself a little bit of time to just flow, okay? Go with what's available right now. Gina, and I know I see your other comment that you love the dragons. I love the dragons too. I don't have a lot because like I said, they're kind of backordered, but this is the baby kind. There's ones that get really big. Anyway, I'll have them up hopefully tomorrow on the website so you guys can buy them if you want. But let's get your card. This week, Gina, okay, I shuffled. I really did. Flow, flow, flow. I'm going to pull the reading up just because obviously now this is the fourth time we've seen it. So I'm going to just make sure I'm not missing some words the guides want us to be paying attention to. It says the tension and release of the tango exemplifies the ebb and flow of the pulse of life's energy, a dance that appears to be effortless but results from skillful, artful practice and expertise. Such is the natural flow between Tula and Sven as they share their lifelong tango. There's a sense of an sensual, indivisible dance of the body, mind, and their indomitable spirit, born of love and developed through long and unrelenting rehearsal. Okay? So basically, this in and out, ebb and flow, trusting who comes in, trusting who goes out kind of thing. All right? Astrid, I left you a voicemail, by the way. Hopefully you got it. Okay. Astrid, your card. Reconnection. All right, look, she's reading a book, she's drinking a coffee, she's not reconnecting with the outside world. She's internally reconnecting with herself, her wisdom, remembering what she already knows to be true, which is that there is lots of wisdom waiting to wake up inside of us right now. That is what's happening, is our wake up to our own wisdom, not what everybody else says. But sometimes when you read it in a book, my most favorite thing to do is to listen to the guides, learn something new from them, and then read it in a book later and be like, someone else figured this out too. Because I feel like sometimes I got the direct download and then got to see someone else got the direct download too. Anyway, just kind of play around with that. Sarah, you got authenticity. Oh, Emily did. So Emily, you're working on being truly vulnerable to who you are. It's okay. You know, like I said, the Light Council was like, wake your friends and family up to what is true about magic and higher truth and all of it, because it's the kindest thing you can do right now. So there's the message. All right, we've come to the end. I have no other me pleases yet. If you're still hanging out and lingering and haven't said so, I'll throw one for my husband who often listens. So Matt, for you this week, it would be good for you to seek out a teacher of some sort. I have some ideas up for this. Actually, some things have come through. There's some new concepts around like abundance mindsets in regards to ebb and flow that it's kind of goes a little bit beyond law of attraction and more into like happy generosity and how to do that and that kind of thing. Anyway, I'm just exploring it, so I don't have much more to say about that yet, but I might. All right, you guys. Well, happy week. Happy summer if you're on this hemisphere, and I will see you guys next week, okay? Take care.